Protect your car with 3W Liners all-weather floor mats. Made from durable materials like TPE and rubber, our mats are designed to withstand rain, snow, and mud with deep grooves to trap dirt and liquids. For a custom fit and advanced protection, visit 3W Liners. That's the number 3, WLINERS.com today.
Ready to bring your vision to life? At Small Rig, every idea, design, and product is inspired by you, the creator. With our industry-first under co-design mode and the Dream Rig free customization project, we unite with global creators to turn big dreams into reality. Whether it's a cage rig or mount, Small Rig's versatile gear is built to elevate your craft. Small Rig, where your creativity meets our innovation. Go to smallrig.com.
Frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about comic books,
costumes,
facts, boots,
and other stuff.
In this week's issue,
Scarlett. It's about vampires? Welcome into Bros, Foes, and Heroes. I'm Zach, joined as always by the Midnight Marauder himself, Mr. Mike.
You can do better than that.
I was trying to think of something tonight. The other voice you heard is Mason joining us as well. You can't see him, but
say hello, Mason.
Wait, I don't get a special.
Not you had already jumped the gun. You didn't give me a chance to give you a special one.
Meticulous Mason.
Yeah, but the Meticulous and Mason and the Midnight Marauder Mike.
That's it.
Our tag team of M's.
We took all the M's.
Here on Bros, Foes, and Heroes, our show every week where I, Zach, present Mike with a comic book and sometimes Mason with a comic book story. Isaac, yeah. It was the follow-up to iRobot. But where we
not nearly as widely received.
No.
I didn't yeah.
A comic book character or story arc, good or bad, or sometimes even indifferent to Mike, and then we just talk about it and break it down. Like maybe we try to understand why, last week on one of our World's Finest Wednesdays, why Lisa Landis thought that it would be if she could show Superman how clever she was and, basically figure out who his secret identity was. Yeah, that she would marry him or he would marry her, however that works. It's funny enough because it spawned me to do another Lois Lane story. We'll get to that though on Wednesday. Stay tuned for World's Finest Wednesday for that. Today though, this is the last episode or last, breakdown of our own You Decide
contest.
Yeah, contest that we're about to do. This is the third
one.
For
a brand new Cadillac.
So what we decided to do is I talked briefly about the whole You Decide fiasco that probably presented us with the worst comic book of all time in Marvel from Marvel's publishing company.
Yeah.
We will break that down at some point in time, but I thought the contest was really cool. And so I decided, what if I found 3 different number 1 issues? We covered all 3 of those number 1s, and then we would put it up to a vote. And whichever one won, like I'll leave it up for a little bit, whichever one won, then probably in March, we'll dive into it a little more. Like I'll read the next couple of issues for us to break down the story more. The first 2 that we've covered, and you can go back and listen to them to see, because this is the third one then. So you'll want to be able to, see what you're voting for. Or maybe you're not. Maybe you're crazy and you just like to vote off names alone. But what we've covered so far is Guardians of the Galaxy, the 1990 series.
That blew.
Mike didn't
I wasn't alive yet.
And Mason wasn't alive yet. And then last week we covered for sure Mason wasn't alive. I barely was alive, from August of 1988, Cops, issue 1, which we found out was essentially just a comic book made in junction with the cartoon that was on at the same time.
I loved that one.
That was Mike loved
because
that one
because it was really stupid.
Because it was really bad.
Yeah.
So Mike didn't like the first one because it was just bad, but he liked the second one because it was really bad.
I didn't like the first one because I felt like it
was because you didn't know any of the.
It was a sad imposter of Guardians of the Galaxy.
But that's not. But see, you're off though. Like the Guardians, hadn't come yet. Well, okay.
I get that. But I'm just saying,
Yondu was a part of it. I mean, that's one of them.
Yondu was barely a part of it.
He was part of the Guardians of the Galaxy, and you got to see his
He
little
didn't whistle
whistle arrow.
once.
He did. He used his whistle arrow once.
He only whistled once.
Yeah, but they showed off the arrow, which we also found out that apparently he is very Native American inspired. Remember, he sat around the fire and he
Yeah.
threw the powder into. It was
I didn't
weird.
understand that either.
It was weird, and then some of the art just.
I think my biggest problem with it, and I don't know why I'm flipping a pin at you, but my biggest problem was that it took itself way too seriously.
Well, I don't know. I appreciate it that it tried to use the old characters that were originated in the 60s. Well, we can't say it took itself too seriously. We covered one issue. We don't even know where the story is going.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Although they did fight a guy named Taserface. So that
That's
is
what I'm
very
saying.
that is
Taserface.
very 90s of them.
Whatever.
Wait, you gotta say it right, Zach.
Taserface. Oh, because he is in the
Volume
movies. Yeah. So that was what issue 1 was about.
Yeah.
Cops was just a fever dream to sell kids toys and cartoons, and
Cops.
it worked.
No,
Like, there
you gotta
was
be
the
woke,
guy-
Zach. It was propaganda.
What's that guy's name with the brain?
With the brain.
Yeah, with the brain show.
Oh, Dr. Bad Vibes.
Dr. Bad Vibes.
Mike
Yeah.
loved just doing
Yeah.
voices for the villains
Just
more than
'cause
anything.
I knew it was that voice.
So
and then we verified it after.
we did. We looked it
You
up.
and I looked at it, and it was
dead
like
on.
Dr. Bad Vibes.
So the last one, I purposely did not necessarily pick the best of these number ones on
Yeah.
purpose because I
Yeah.
thought it'd be more fun too.
No, it's great.
And 2 of them were things that I actually had, either from stuff that we pulled out of Mike's closet, or for some reason I had them for.
Some sort of federally.
I had
mandated
issue 1 of
program.
Cops because a couple of years ago we were in Galveston. I was a comic book shop, and just off the covers alone, I picked it up. I was like, "We're going to cover this at some point in time."
What a brag!
And so I used it now. Yeah, well, there you
I
go.
was in Galveston.
I was in
and I went to a
Galveston.
comic
Yeah,
book
man.
shop.
I was
Yeah, it
in,
is.
if you've
Yeah.
been to real beaches, then do not think
I
about
was in the
Galveston.
bathroom. And I used
How did
the
this guy get a
toilet.
wife?
I mean,
Seriously.
But so I had that. We also had Scarlett issue 1, which I'm pretty sure was something that came out of our closet. Out of your attic, and I just forgot to bring it to you to flip through. But I will
That's
tell you,
great.
there were no ads in it, unfortunately. But there's our cover
Ooh, look at that.
of the story we get into. Tom Joyner, Keith S. Wilson, and Jim Fern. As Mason walks over to be able to see it, it is an homage to if you get it's in Mike's account, Mason. If you're on,
Yeah,
the
if you want to
StreamYard.
get in there.
But it's an homage to a old Moon Knight cover, with like that's supposed to be like a wolf kind of eyes and like teeth back there from the
This
70s.
is me taking a picture of what we're doing.
So I know that's what they were going for, but if you want to know who everybody is, you don't fully find out this issue.
Okay.
So maybe that's more reason for you to vote. But it's from January of 1993. This is issue 1 of Scarlett, and not just any issue. It is a big ass 48-page special.
Can I
First
guess?
issue.
Can I guess what that guy's name is?
I don't know it.
Oh, you don't know it?
Yeah,
Can I make 2 guesses?
I think his
You
name's
can.
Duke.
I want to make a guess on the price.
Well, I think we have an idea. Okay, make a guess. I found the price.
I want to say $199.
No,
Because-
there's more.
Oh wait, what year did this come
$2.99.
out?
January 93 is I guess into 92.
What'd you say?
but-
$199?
I thought
I'm gonna say
$199.
$2.
No,
Am I right?
He was right.
No.
This would have been 48. This would have been $4.
No, it's less. It's actually $295.
Oh,
Yeah,
You're
I was
close.
with
You know
my
how much
first
this would
guess.
be now, Mike?
Huh?
$7.99.
It's like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
$8
yeah, I get
book
that,
for 48
yeah.
pages.
Well, it'd be printed. on
But,
some sort
the
of
creative-
hard
Real quick.
stock.
Can I interrupt you for 2 seconds?
Yeah.
We'll take this out. Mike, did they send you an email?
Oh yeah, I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have to take this out. We're
Yeah,
good.
no, this is
this is how
behind
the
the fourth
sausage
wall.
is made, folks.
We're letting so Mason can actually see the
How
art when
the
he talks
digital
about it.
sausage
I
is
should.
made.
I apologize. I should have done this before we
Are
started.
you good?
Yeah, it's
I didn't think
okay.
about it.
It's okay. It's
This
great.
is a well-structured machine here, so
Yes.
how dare you?
So
My
again,
defense, I'm only here 2 days a week.
one more time, the creative team: Tom Joyner, Keith S. Wilson, and Jim Fern here.
Wait, hold
Um,
up. Can you say that one more time?
Tom Joyner,
Tom Joyner,
Keith S. Wilson,
Keith S. Wilson,
and Jim Fern.
Jim Fern.
Oh wait, I wasn't listening again.
No, we're done after that. So, 48-page first issue special here, and we are going to get kicked off with a prologue. We have 2 chapters in this, Mike. We have a prologue and 2 chapters.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure the third one doesn't show up. If so,
You know, the
it's
art
an
is
issue.
much better inside than it is on the cover.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Even in the 90s, they were doing that shit.
Yeah.
They were. That's true. So, I don't know what's going on there. We're in Manhattan after
Roseanne.
midnight, and
Roseanne.
we're introduced to this guy named Mr. Praxis.
Mr.
That's-
Who?
Praxis, Praxus. That's what I'm
God
gonna say.
bless you.
That's the big guy there, and he's threatening some little lackey in his criminal organization
He grabs him by his head.
who's stolen some money from him and then not paid him back. While he's doing this, these other just like, dressed up, it looks like other crime bosses in a way. I'm basing this all off just the first issue that I read.
The ring that dude has on in the first, does that have any significance whatsoever?
It's not brought up. I'm sure it does,
because it's like featured in that picture. So
I'm sure some of it is. You can kind of tell where they're going, but they're setting up a story here, so we don't fully know.
This art is not as good.
But we're introduced to then like other people.
It just varies by page.
Who have
terrible on one page, great on the next.
Who have these organizations like across the U.S. Like one of these guys is responsible for Chicago.
There's Conor McGregor.
No, that's his name's McIlvaney. Something where is it at? He only comes up here at the beginning.
Mickey McIlvaney.
Cormac Praxis is the guy's full name, but there's other
Cormac.
Cormac
Taserface Practice.
I'm just gonna say this every time we say Praxis, I think of Jack 2 for my Gen Z or millennials, Gen whatever. The first thing Jack ever says is, "I'm gonna kill Praxis."
Is that the JAK thing?
Yeah, Jack. Yeah. Because the main villain in that movie is Lord Praxis.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know? You wouldn't. It's just gonna be in my head.
You wouldn't, old man.
Yeah. Sorry. Hey, don't talk to me like that. So essentially, it's the meaning of like these crime bosses in a way, but they seem like there's other nefarious things going on. Which, spoiler alert, there are.
He looks a lot like a gorilla in that top one.
I think they're trying to go.
Long fingers.
I think there's a reason for this. And
hairy knuckles.
This is purely speculation on my part.
I went to school with
It's
him.
because hairy knuckles. They're trying to make him look like a caveman per se.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Like he's been around. Like he's been around a long time.
Did you say Praxis?
Praxis.
Okay. Remind me again. What year did this come out again?
93.
Okay. Image wasn't a thing yet, right?
Or it was barely starting, or it was about to be. It'd be early if so. I don't know right off.
Who published this again?
The DC. This is a DC book.
It's just Praxas.
XUS.
Oh, okay.
So all this group of individuals all takes an elevator down to like the subway area, just like the underbelly of whatever building they're in here.
Yeah.
And they're all wearing red robes now, so you know that some sort of gathering is about to happen. We also get a thing of why I think that you think that that more is at foot is because there's a point where the guy who runs Chicago has the little dotted lines around his bubble, so it makes it think like it's thought. It's not necessarily him saying out loud, but he's still cornered by Mr. Praxis and be like, we don't deal with that talk here. Like he could read his thoughts.
But now in the bottom right-hand corner is
the ring is there again.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is he going to put that ring into
He does when he turns it.
Okay, well, that makes sense. Yeah.
And we're introduced to our splash page, Blood of Innocence. And there's a giant throne there that Mr. Praxis goes and sits at, and he tells them about, all right, everybody, we all know of this dire prophecy that's at foot. I'm speaking of this prophecy surrounding these creatures who are, what does it say? Those rotless creatures who are our wayward children living beyond our law. It is written that one of their number shall in the ignorance.
Written where?
I don't know.
Okay.
What to say.
Right.
Whatever book they believe in. Where is it? Oh, in a blithe ignorance will bring forth into the world the Scarlet Redeemer. She who will ultimately destroy all that we hold dear. So there's apparently some sort of prophecy about this badass female that's going to come through and kill all the
Scarlet Redeemer.
All the vampires.
Give her.
Spoiler alert!
Props.
This is my. Well, I say that I don't know. I'm basing all this off of just reading the first issue.
Yeah, sure.
We do see the lackey from before who was, telling him like, "Oh, I was going to pay it back." Show back up, and he is begging for his job again.
He's not going to be treated well.
He's begging for another shot from the high priestess there, the ruler of this little group there, Mr. Praxis. But instead, we cut to chapter 1.
What the hell?
Which is us at like a McDonald's knockoff kind of thing. It's like a diner, early 90s. We are introduced. The girl, the redheaded girl, is our main character.
Okay.
Her name is Blythe.
Blythe,
but she goes by Blythe. Her boyfriend is the brunette or the brown-haired kid there. His name is Paul. He's the kicker on the football team.
Oh, of course he is.
I'm just giving you a little insight before we go into it. The other two, because it's comic books, the blondes, they're together. It's Misty and Matt.
Misty and Mac.
Missy and
in
Mac.
the morning.
Mac. I don't know. They both have M names for both first and last names.
Wow.
But that's the couples there. Honestly, I thought it was weird though if Blythe and Pete are together. How come they're not sitting beside each other?
It
like
is
the couples are staggered.
Yeah.
Do you ever sit like that? Do you ever sit with another person between you and your wife?
I don't
when you
ever
got
sit
to eat
with
anywhere?
other people.
Well, I feel like the only person that would be like your child.
Yeah.
But
No, that is weird.
Like it's weird that I'm like.
I guess the girls wanted to be together or something. I
guess,
don't know.
but why not?
Now they're all. Now it is.
Well,
no,
the big
is.
jock on the
They
on the
couldn't.
end there.
You couldn't do this in the 1990s. They're swinging.
Well, maybe.
My mother
The jock
high
sees this
school
little
swinger party.
one of these little nerdy kids because they are all high school students walking by.
The chunky kid with the Batman
Oh,
thing. Gets
Marvin.
tripped.
Yeah, and he sticks his foot out and he trips him and knocks his foot
son
over
of a-
everywhere. But they cut it into Marvin. I did appreciate this for a little bit. Marvin tripping and falling forward, and they splice it back with the guy being thrown onto
the
the little spike there.
Yeah. That's actually kind of cool.
It is. And blood kind of drips down the spike, and they all take chalices from it and drink his blood.
They're all drinking his blood.
And one of the other people who showed up there, Harmony Hamashita, who's one of the high priestess.
What?
Some of this stuff,
Say that one more time?
here's the thing. I have a feeling if we end up covering more Scarlett, I'm going to have to come back and actually figure out who some of these people are.
Harmony.
Well, that's not too hard.
But we'll deal with that.
I've been doing research. There's only 14 issues of this.
Yeah.
It's so obscure. When you look it up on Wikipedia, it doesn't. It's one of those rare red links where this doesn't go anywhere.
Nope. So that's the thing is, if you want to know about this, you got to vote for it, and you got to just listen to me describe it to you because that's the only way you're going to hear about it.
Huh.
But I'll go back. And
You ever
do more
wanted
research.
to drink blood? I have never had that thought.
No,
I've never
I
thought,
haven't.
gosh, I just want to try it and see what it takes. No,
Well,
I don't want to do that.
But they're vampires, so that's why.
Okay.
So
Excuses.
we cut back then to this was a nice little ad I thought for themselves of DC throwing it in of Bly because she's our hero. She's the nice one. She's helping
old
Marvin
yeah.
pick everything back
his
up.
fries.
And he has comics and she's like, oh, comics. I haven't read comics since I was a kid. And they make sure that they're DC comics there to highlight it. But it's not one of the ones that would sell. So it's not like Batman or anything.
High?
It's Malibu High. They're like, we need to get some sales on Malibu High.
Wow.
Go ahead and throw it in that Scarlet
Let's
book.
put it
That'll
in
help
this
it out.
obscure other one we're doing.
Girls read Malibu High.
Yeah,
Girls
maybe
love
that's
Malibu
probably what they were
High.
going for. Oh man.
Oh,
So after they get done eating, Pete, Paul, Pete, whatever.
That
Bly's.
is an odd frame there, are with them kissing so deeply.
Yes,
That's a weird one to see in a comic book.
it is. But
the one before it, yes, I get that. We
Yeah.
see a lot of that kind of stuff. But the one where it's just a close up of their lips all locked together.
so
weird.
so Bly and her boyfriend go to the mall and they're being hot and heavy, and Mike doesn't like watching them kiss.
Mike's
But
weird.
he ends up having to leave, and he's like, "All right, I got to go." And as he leaves, this other man
Stop
comes.
watching Darkwing Duck for the same reason.
I love Darkwing Duck. It's my favorite
I
Halloween
don't know
costume.
that I ever
Never
watched
seen
it.
Came and
Darkwing
put
Duck.
his hand. Came and put his hand on Bly, and she's like, he's like, "Pardon me, miss," and she turns around to look, and he's
It's
like,
Nosferatu.
"Well," he's like, "Sorry to startle you. I'd like to take a picture. See, it's part of the Halloween festival. Do you mind taking a picture with me?"
Mm.
And she's like, "Yeah, sure." And so she poses with him, and they take the picture, and he's like, and she asks him, "Who are you supposed to be a costume anyway?" And he goes, "Count Dracula, of course." Like he's very just kind of, even though he doesn't look like it.
Yeah.
And she's getting ready to leave. She's getting ready to leave, and she's like, "Okay, well, thanks, got to go." And he's like, "Well, hold on. Would you like a balloon? Hey, high school girl, would you like a balloon?" And she goes,
do they call that grooming? Is that what that is? I don't know.
Remember when you were
What
that
it
age
is.
and balloons would just
little
entertain
bit.
you for
Well,
hours?
And he takes his cane and he waves it in front of the clown selling balloons face, and he just goes, "The young lady would have a balloon."
Give her a balloon.
He Jedi mind tricks her into giving her a red balloon, and
Look at the poor clown.
Yeah.
Look at his face.
and Bly just goes,
He just all spaced out.
"Thanks." And she takes it, and because he's like, no problem at all. Glad to help. Like the clown is spaced out.
Give her a balloon.
He got
honk,
Jedi-
honk.
He got Jedi mind trick. So she leaves with the balloon, and the guy who took the picture and his associate, the big guy who said he was Dracula, leans down and goes, "So is this our girl?" And the guy's like, "Well, Bly Ferris, no middle name, age 17, like where he's telling her where she lives, what his parents, like just giving her all this information." And he goes, "That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking you, is she the one?" and his assistant that's there with him and goes, there's a 93% probability that she is indeed the one.
Well, he's basically like his Renfield, right? Because
Yes.
that's what because it shows his creepy little face and stuff.
Yes, very much
Okay.
so.
All
The one what? We don't know. You'll have to find out.
I bet I know.
We then see out in the wilderness, these other vampires are like on top of a car, just sitting there harassing families that drive by.
Oh, these damn vampires.
I
these
know.
days.
In the desert. Desert vampires are the worst.
Desert vampires, indeed.
Yeah. So he's like hanging on the car trying to scare family, and he like jumps off of it. This biker gang that you see here all together. And he's like, oh, come on, man, you let him get away. And the main guy, whose name is Sam, that we find out, Sam tells him there's always more where they came from. You know, like, just give it a second.
You said this was like 98,
93.
93. Okay.
And
I was
so-
just trying to think like Lost Boys, you know, about that time and stuff.
well, see, here's the thing.
That
If-
was
if
87.
it appears in comics, it's probably just a little bit late
Mhm.
because it takes a little time, obviously, for idea to
This
art
is
to
6
print,
years after
so
Lost Boys.
maybe
and
that's a
I'm
little
just-
bit too late. But
Yeah.
I would say,
Well-
like, if it came out like 2 years before, oh hell yeah.
There was okay. The second one wasn't made until 2008. Okay. All right. I was just trying to figure out. Yeah.
I wonder
when
Interview with-
Dracula came out
or
or
Interview
Interview with a
with
Vampire.
Vampire?
Yeah. Yeah.
Vampires were big there for a bit in the early 90s.
Yeah.
Well,
Um,
they've never really went away. Just as like they don't make
Well, they're
billions.
vampires.
anymore.
They don't go away.
Yeah, unless you stab them through the heart.
1994 is Interview
or
with
sleep
the
with them
Vampire.
till daybreak.
Yeah.
Nosferatu reference.
1994 was and then 92 was Bram Stoker's Dracula.
So
So
it's
yeah,
right
this
there.
is right in that
Right in the middle.
wheelhouse.
Yeah, you guys
So-
you guys were alive at that point.
Yeah, we
Make
were.
you feel old. I wasn't.
we
Oh,
we
that's
got that
great.
already. Good for you, Mason. So, after they're done harassing a family, that same one there, this truck shows up, and then all
Big
of a
old
sudden,
truck.
a big old truck. It's a guy named Ruben driving it.
Ruben.
And Sam, who's the head of this biker gang here, is like, Ruben, what took you so long? And Ruben comes out and he's like, shut up, freak. Where's Lucy and Ramona? I imagine that's how he talks.
Mhm.
And Sam goes, they're right here, Ruben. And about that time, both ladies kind of appear on both
Yeah.
sides of Sam.
There they are.
Yeah. And
Pretty ladies.
Ruben's like, come on, you get your butt in a INNA, you know,
Inna.
instead of in the truck. Get
Yeah.
your butt in the truck, Lucy.
Get your bug in there.
Yeah. And he's like, what you thinking running off with this pack? He's very, very country for the middle of the Arizona desert. Did I tell you that's where this is taking
No.
place? It's taking place in like Tempe.
I don't think it matters. But
So-
sure.
Would
well,
they have they would have? I guess. No, I don't know. Would he have an accent?
I don't know.
What the hell even is an Arizona accent?
Well, he came from Louisiana. I don't know if you know that or not.
That
I know a
he's
little bit about him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's a transplant.
You boys get back in that truck.
So we come to find out that apparently his sister and her friend, I guess, ran out with this. Another spoiler alert. Well, I don't know why I keep saying spoiler alert, but here's the thing: we haven't fully known, but I guess you see his fangs there.
Yeah.
This biker gang's a bunch of vampires.
Huh? What?
wait. How long ago was the Lost Boys at this point?
6
That's what we
years.
said. We
6
just talked
years.
about all that.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
6
sorry,
years.
I was half
God,
listening.
we got to get better guests.
Oh man, that's all I need is now 2 co-hosts who half listen. Maybe
That's-
together y'all both fully listen.
Well, maybe
It's
you'll-
a bet. It was
maybe
six,
you were interesting, Zach.
Hey.
I don't know.
It was 6 years, but again, Bram Stoker's Dracula was only like 3 years removed from this, and the other one, what
And
was the other
Interview
one?
with the
Interview
Vampire
with
came out the
Vampire
next year.
was right there too. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
So, but Ruben then
but this guy in that
realizes-
orange vest doesn't know that.
no, he picked off more than he thought he could chew.
Mhm.
As the vampires essentially just kill he and his
Sure.
buddy.
Why wouldn't they?
All of them. They're not getting their sister back. He he has his skin like ripped off in a tornado thing. Like it's just
Aw.
it's pages of them. One of the guys thinks he gets away and he hops in the truck to leave all of his buddies back there to perish.
I mean,
Well,
I do the same. We
yeah,
don't do the same thing.
I know. Well, one of the vampires chases after him, breaks through the truck, and fight ensues for him to try to get the gun to shoot, and it leads the truck kind of off, and it explodes, like it crashes into something and explodes.
Of course.
Bakum.
It's the 90s.
Yep. And we see the vampire just pull himself up in a fiery flame as he walks over there. And he's like, he went out in a blaze of glory. And Sam, the main vampire biker, is like, look what you did. You can't go around with you looking all burnt like that. You're going to have to feed to like get your appearance to look healthy again.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you just burnt your dinner by doing that. Like, forget it. Y'all figure out, like, get yourself taken care of and then come meet us at wherever.
Mhm.
I can't remember what they say. Oh, you and Reek clean up this mess. catch us at Veterans Coliseum in Phoenix.
Veterans Coliseum,
Which I'm pretty sure is where the Cardinals played at the time.
Huh. Okay.
So they're headed to Phoenix.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good for them.
We
I
cut
know they
back
just don't say meet us at Phoenix. Meet us at this specific place.
at this specific
is
location.
important.
Yeah, in Phoenix. Maybe they had to deal with Veterans Coliseum. We'll include you in comics. It's
Well,
going
that's
to be
where
a
they did the
vampire
live
one.
version of Malibu High.
Was it
Yeah, at the Veterans Stadium.
just the one show?
Yeah, well, it wasn't very.
So
well received.
why were they at the mall earlier? Well, they were shopping for Halloween costumes because
Okay.
there's a Halloween party going on.
But is it today Halloween?
Yeah, it is.
Or are we just saying it's part of the Halloween? You know, because he
Today,
said something about
He
Halloween
did the Halloween. He did.
festivities.
It is. Today is Halloween, so they have a
Half listen
contest.
my ass.
Oh, Mike, that makes me happy. So, they also had a football game that night. After the football game, they go to this party. It's the same group hanging out as earlier. It's Missy and Matt or Mike or whatever his name is, and then Bly, and then her boyfriend Paul.
Missy or
Paul,
Matt
not
or-
Pete. It's Paul. It's
Not
a
going to
P
work
name.
here anymore.
And Bly's dressed as a devil. Paul's dressed as like Robin Hood, or he has to be
it's
because
Robin Hood.
there's an Errol Finn joke in there.
Oh, nice.
Boy,
Kids love Errol Finn.
especially
Flynn.
1993.
Oh,
Errol Flynn.
couldn't get enough of it.
And then
Don't know who that is.
exactly. That's
You
the
know who
point.
Errol Flynn is?
No.
No,
Yeah,
I really didn't. I had to.
He's an old swashbuckling movie star.
Mhm.
But
Well,
like-
it's glad that you said you swashbuckle because here's one of the lines in here. There's two that got me. Paul has been drinking a bit, but obviously he wants to talk to his girlfriend Bly, and he's like, I would have grown a real, like talking about his fake mustache that he's on, or that he has penciled on instead of growing it, and he's like, I would have grown a real one. You can tell he's drunk. But the party was this year, And she looks at him and she goes, "It looks fine, Errol. You can buckle my swash anytime.
Ah, grody.
Ooh.
I don't
Come
like
on,
that
bud.
at all.
That's not PG.
You can buckle my swash."
This guy
anytime."
died in 1959.
and we're making a joke
Errol
about him in
Flynn.
'93.
Yeah.
Anyway, everybody's leaving the party. Everybody's drunk except Bly. Bly's the DD, so she's going to drive her and Paul back to their house.
Always have a DD, kids.
That's true. If you're going to go out and drink, always have a DD. So she's driving her and Paul back, and Paul's trying to make the move on Bly. And Bly is very respectful of herself and is like, "No, you're not doing this. You're drunk. Like, just calm down, Paul."
She just pushes his face.
She does. She just pushes him down. She's like,
Yeah.
beer breath, and just like shuts that shit down.
Get out of here, Errol.
And Paul's just like, "Yes, ma'am," and just kind of, rightfully so, just sits there. But they get back, and as they're almost to her house, there's a biker gang that just breezes by, runs through a stop sign that she has to stop from almost hitting.
Okay.
Huh.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Okay.
There they go.
So then she pulls into the house, and as she's trying to unlock the car or the house door, Paul's all over again. And she's like, "All right, whatever. Like, just stop it." And she opens the door. She goes, "Mom, Dad, I'm inviting Paul in for coffee." Mom, because like everything's dark in there.
Yeah. It looks a little askew.
It looks like things are askew. And then she opens it, and the furniture's everywhere, and it looks like blood's written on the wall, and it says, "For Sam, pigs die. Scarlett." Don't know what that means.
I don't know, but it can't be good.
Flashback out to the desert, Mike.
Uh-huh.
That group of vampires that they told to clean up,
Yeah.
they're going through and digging all digging a hole, burying all those bodies out there.
Mhm.
When it looks like a police officer, wouldn't you say that cop kind of shows up? And one of the guys goes, "How's it hanging, officer?" And he just goes, "Low, dirtbag, hanging real low," and immediately shoots him in the head.
Low dirt bag.
Hanging
mean,
real
Real
low.
low.
Fits. I'm
Mhm.
kidding. Not really.
Then a guy comes, and one of the other guys that's out there runs after him to attack him, and that cop kind of beats him off and shoots him in the chest too. And he goes,
Sorry, the cop did what?
beats him off with both hands.
Okay. All right.
That's a
Great.
21 Jump Street joke.
Yeah.
No, he knocks him off of him, like he subdues the guy that attacked him.
There we
Because I
go.
can't see how many vampires are there.
Right, it's two.
Okay.
Or it's at least one. Well, because this cop throws him off and like kicks him in the face and goes, "There's two kinds. Which kind are you? Are you the kind that bites next, or the kinds that just licks the boots of the ones who do?" So he's saying that there's vampire, and I guess like their coven of just people that help them out, kind of thing.
Mason, vampires are a lot like German cockroaches. When you see one, there's a million.
Yeah.
That's just the way it works.
Are you wise in the ways of vampire?
No,
Is it-
German cockroaches.
Oh, okay.
Mike is wise, just not in most things.
Yeah, and so the vampire that he shot in the head obviously comes back and goes and jumps on the back of this cop, and it knocks his sunglasses off as the cop kind of throws him forward. And the vampire said, "Oh, I'm the one you have to watch out, cowboy, R4 cowboy." And the cop throws him and goes, "That's the problem with you blood-sucking scum. You always think you're everybody's worst nightmare. Well, I got a hot news flash, Vampiro. Montero's your nightmare, and I'm the kind you don't wake up from." And it
He
shows
said hot news flash.
yeah, hot news flash.
Okay.
And the glasses that are knocked off, it shows a scar across his face, and it just looks really gnarly looking.
Yeah.
So I guess that is the guy from the cover. His name's
Yeah.
Montero.
Okay, Montero. They make a fine chemical you can spray on your sidewalk.
They do. So,
He's a
and then we get a
motherfucker.
he is. We get a like a yell, yaga,
Yaga.
from the vampire that I'm assuming he just killed
That's
somehow.
the way vampires
You know,
kill.
can I always? Well,
Yaga.
I'm gonna stop interrupting soon. But one plot hole always bothered me.
Mhm.
How come shooting when the brain doesn't do anything, but only a stake in the heart does? I mean, I get the heart stops the blood flow, but the brain is still a brain. You can't. Can you just regrow that?
I thought it would make sense like if you hit a part that like affected certain, like to me in theory, it's like
yeah,
if
but I've
you-
never seen anybody stake the brain. I mean,
Huh.
unless you have, I haven't. I never watched Buffy, but
You know
I
why?
never watched Buffy either. I don't know.
Love.
Oh,
it's also
That's
it's a lot
that's all we
easier.
need.
It's also a lot easier from a movie maker perspective to make up make a chest plate and just stab that
Oh, that's true.
than
than having
stabbing
a
someone in the
yeah.
head.
Quit downing my movie magic. And it's
Sorry, Mike does really great practical effects.
No.
So
that's not good.
chapter 2, we're now into
Never
chapter
done
2
anything practical in my life.
of our story, and we have these cops that are at this hospital, and they're like, "Come on, doc, let us question her." And she's like, "I can't let you question her. Like, is she a suspect? Like,
One of
why?"
them got a big old white ass
Cowboy hat.
and a bolo on.
and
So he's a local.
and
Do they
you
think
do.
are they supposed to be in Texas?
No,
They-
they're
No,
in Arizona.
I know, but they
it
feel like-
fits still.
I guess.
I feel like New Mexico, Arizona, like there's still some trail over.
Yeah,
I
it
just
is.
rode in on my doggy.
But the doctor's like, if she's just between us, like, if she some kind of like suspect, like, I'm not gonna let you talk to her. It could
Just between us, let me break FERPA real quick.
Yeah, but no, she's just like I can't let you talk to somebody if risk her mental health. They're like, she's our only suspect. Like, we need to figure out what's going on. So she allows them to meet, and they go in to talk to Bly, who's in this room,
So blind.
and she's staring out the window, and they're like, "Miss Ferris, like, I'm Detective Ochoa with the Tempe Police. Can my partner and I ask you a few questions?" And so they sit there kind of going over the night. Bly at first doesn't realize what day it is, and she's like, "What is today?" And he's like, "It's Saturday." Now, tell me this, you went to a party last night. And Bly's like, "Did I? I remember we had a football game. Did we win?" And the cop's like, yeah, man, 24-21. Your boyfriend Paul kicked the winning field goal. That McAdams kid got a hell of arm. Now, about this party, this is just how I'm assuming how he reads all this.
Mhm.
He's like, about this party, like, you
By
went
the
to-
way, I don't give two shits about their football team. Just saying.
I was just letting you
don't
know.
understand.
I was letting you know that
not
Paul
you.
won.
Not you. I'm
She
just saying.
cared.
As far as exposition goes, it just seems very
I
like,
get that.
outer
I think,
fringe type stuff.
I think they're doing it just to like add
Yeah.
to the context.
Whatever.
But he's like, she's like, all right, about the party. And
Are footballs still round? Questions
Did
like
we-
that.
are we gonna win district this year? So I don't care about
It
this
just
damn
goes,
party.
goes
Yeah.
on for like 3 pages.
Yeah, it's like, ma'am, this party. No, you gotta tell me, Detective Ochoa. You gotta tell me. Is Paul gonna win the
Did
Kicker
he
of the
break
Year award?
Johnson's record?
Yeah.
Is the mascot okay?
She's just that's the thing, because he keeps trying to move on.
She just
And he's
keeps
like, yes,
asking
yes, ma'am, he's
high
fine.
school questions.
Now this party.
Can
Oh, you
anybody
gotta
check? Can somebody look at my locker? I think I left a top in there.
Oh man. So can you tell me, when they throw out those plastic footballs after you score touchdowns? Well, Miss Mahaggerty has been trying to catch one of
Oh,
those
she
all
loves the
season long.
footballs.
She finally got one.
She loves them footballs.
So anyway, this is
She
what
gave me a
happens.
little Debbie cake when I gave her a T-shirt that time. She's such a nice lady. Wait, who are you again? Why am I here?
Why am I here? What happened?
What
Where's-
happened?
Where's my parents? So,
That's the real question.
well, we're about
This
to get
kid's
into
a
that.
high school student.
So they're asking about the party, and she's like, I remember going shopping after school on Friday,
Mm.
but I don't remember much else. And they're like,
Sure.
well, why'd you go shopping? And she's like, well, for costumes.
Yeah.
okay,
Superman costume.
like what? Well, what happened while you were there? And Blythe then tells the story how they ran into some other kids who were kind of these, like, I would say, like rocker kids. Like they look like the
Rockers.
Ramon, like punk kids, right?
Every time you see them, you just hear a guitar riff.
Degenerates.
Here they come.
I'm trying to think. Spike. Oh, Tim Sands and Spike and Harold.
Spike and Harold.
Spike and Harold are his
They
lackeys,
used
but
to make
Tim
a
Sands is the main guy.
lemonade wine cooler.
And they go to talk to him, and her friend Emily, who's there with Blythe shopping, is like, I don't want to talk to these guys. And she's like, no, you just have to know how to talk to them. And they invite her to some concert tonight. And
Say
she's
what
like,
the band is.
oh, it does.
Always. love that.
Big metal concert at the Coliseum. They were headed to the metal concert.
This is not the same. This is not the same place though, because they're calling it Coliseum.
They did. Well,
Right?
it's Veterans Coliseum.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's
Oh,
the
is
same
that what it is?
Coliseum.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought it was.
But they just say, pound it out, right, guys? Now, I don't think that the band's name is Pound It Out. I think that they're just like excited, and so
No,
they
I
say
think
Pound
he's
It Out.
secretly giving his desire for the other guys. Like he can't say it out loud unless he says it like that.
Man.
Pound it out, guys. No,
But-
really, wanna?
But he does say it's Dokken and Poison. You
Dokken.
ought to come Bly. You got to come
Dokkken.
Dokken and Dokken. Sorry, thank
Because
you.
it's rocking with Dokken.
So it's Dokken and Poison are what
Oh,
they're going to
great.
go see at the Coliseum.
Great. Okay.
So Brett Michaels,
I may have seen those two bands at one point.
were you at this concert
wasn't
in the
at that
Veterans
concert, no.
Coliseum?
No, I wasn't.
Mike,
at
hold
the-
on. Are you part of this? Are you part of Vampire?
You don't know.
That's
Why
true.
would I tell you?
I mean, you look pretty good for someone in his 70s.
Yeah, baby.
Rocking with Dokken?
Rocking with Dokken.
What is that? It's like a DJ?
Well, no, they would say it would be like on their T-shirts and stuff.
Okay.
ROKKEN with DOKKEN.
Anyway, they have that running, and
Well,
then she
history
talks
lesson
about
for
how
all.
she went back home to try the concert on. Her mom said,
Just tried the concert on.
try the
okay.
costumes on. Her
All right.
mom said, like any good mom, was like, that costume's a little too tight. Don't you think, there, Bly?
I can see your butt.
And Bly's like, I don't think so, Mom. I don't know why we've adopted this voice for her. 'Cause
Everybody,
she doesn't sound like this at all when reading it.
everybody sounds like that here. I can see your butt, Blythe.
In Tempe, Arizona, that's how everybody sounds.
Blythe,
apparently.
why ain't them dishes still in the
Yeah,
sink?
and the one or two people in Tempe that are listening to this are like, those
She's
assholes.
like-
We don't sound
she's
anything
like-
like that at all.
She's like, how you think football team's gonna do tonight, Blythe?
You think Paul's gonna kick the game winning field goal? Oh man, I hope so.
so. Our football's still around.
So, also another thing that's brought up, because she's telling this as a story, like telling the cops what happened.
Yeah.
But she goes, after the mall, we went back to my house. Mom fixed us Susie cream cheeses.
Susie cream cheeses.
Here's the thing. That's a Frank Zappa thing, is it not?
I
Susie
don't
cream
know.
cheese?
I have no
I
idea.
think so. But it's a fake character, so I have no clue what the hell a Susie cream cheese is. And I tried to Google it. I couldn't figure it out.
There's no such thing as a Susie cream cheese.
So there's like a company named Susie's that sells
Uh-huh.
like cream cheese, like cheesecakes.
Maybe
But
that's what it was.
if you know what a Susie cream
Susie
cheese
cream
is,
cheese.
let us know below. And I'm afraid of what other people might put it as instead. But
I would
still,
love to hear what other people
what do you
say
think
it
a
is.
Susie cream cheese is?
Yeah.
Definitely not a Susie cream pie.
And then
My-
she goes,
My grandmother's name was Susie.
So,
I don't think I ever had any cream cheese from her.
she tells the cops about feeling like she'd been followed by that Dracula guy.
Oh.
And they're like, well, did you tell your parents about that? She's like, yeah, I did. And she remembers like telling them like, hey, like, I think this guy followed me. And they're like, all right, well, stay close with your group tonight at the party. Don't let anybody like around you, but just be careful.
If my teenage daughter ever came to me and said, listen, I think somebody followed me home or whatever,
Or it was like,
and she'd
watching
be
me.
like, I'd be like, oh, okay, well, stay close to your friends now.
Well, that's what they tell her. And then
Root for the whole team.
but she stays behind the door because she's like, man, I forgot my homecoming scarf, my mom to wear tonight for the big game. I got to go get that out of Daddy's office because she.
Did
calls
you
him
call
Daddy.
me?
She does
No, I
call him
said
Daddy.
mom. Oh, okay.
But-
Just be safe. Stay with your group.
She does peek outside the office and overhears her dad and mom talking, and they're like, "Oh, what's going on? It could be like this person. It could be that person.
Mm.
We have to let her know." And they're like, and her dad's like, "We'll tell her tomorrow."
Oh,
This could be
so they
nothing.
knew.
They know that something might be up.
Uh-oh.
They're like, maybe it was, or because she's like, from her description, it sounded like Kyrus. And her dad's like, maybe it was, or maybe it was one of the others. I'll make some calls.
These are the shittiest parents we have ever encountered on this show.
For
Because
future reference, if
they-
you ever go, Mike, go first.
They know that there's vampires out there. They're like, just stay close to your group, honey.
That might be hunting her because she fulfills
Dear
a prophecy,
God.
and they're just like,
Wow.
just don't wander too far off from your
Yeah.
friends. Everything's gonna be okay.
For record, for any parents out there, if you are like some part of some like supernatural group,
vampires are hunting down your kid.
and never ever utter the words, we'll tell them tomorrow.
Yeah.
You have to tell them to the day of
'Cause
because you're dying by the end of that night.
Well, that's true. We already know. We already know that they're dead.
Honey, by the way, before you leave, what's your blood type?
Yeah. And he goes, because she goes, don't you think we should tell her? And Bly's dad goes, we'll tell her tomorrow. Famous last words.
Wait,
because
how does he
obviously
say
they're
it?
not. We'll tell her tomorrow.
We'll tell her tomorrow.
Oh, he calls her Lise too. I guess her mom's name's Lisa. We'll tell her tomorrow, Lise.
Lise.
First thing. But there's no reason to panic. It could be nothing.
Lie, stay out of that drainage ditch. Nothing that good ever happened in that drainage ditch.
Stay close to your friends.
Stay close to your friends. If they go in that drainage ditch, you don't go.
So
If someone attacks them, leave them to die.
and then Bly goes, I'm sorry, the Detective Ochoa goes, so you're saying your folks thought that guy might be a problem? And Bly goes, you sound like you're surprised that they believed me. Are you saying that I'm a dirty, dirty liar, detective? And he's
I
just
just
like,
told you about my Susie cream cheese.
oh, this got off the rails. And so he tells her, like, how long have you known you've been adopted? Which we didn't know that.
Oh,
Right? That's true. That's what she says.
just in the middle.
And she goes, I want to see my parents. I'm not talking. I'll do the voice.
Yeah.
I want to see my parents. I'm not talking to any of you anymore till I see them. And then Detective Ochoa goes, how'd you get on with your folks, Bly? We got along just fine. It ain't any of your business. Has something happened to them? Are they? Oh God, they're dead, ain't they?
This is my
They're
favorite
dead.
radio play ever. This
They're
is the best.
dead. And then the detective goes, and that Dracula guy was there, or maybe that's her that says it.
That Dracula.
No, he
guy.
goes, and that Dracula guy was. Oh, she does. And that Dracula guy was there. I saw him through the window.
And you were there, and you were there, and the dog too.
I saw him through the window, and the walls, they said for Sam, and pigs die, and something else, and it was wrote there in their blood.
And my alarm clock's broke.
And she knocks the alarm clock over and the light, and it like starts a fire. And the other,
The alarm clock started a fire.
I mean, well, zits. It's
Okay.
zits equal fire. Like the
Okay.
zzz.
Yeah.
Something ignited something.
And anyway, she takes
Something
a swing,
ignited
and
something. What does that
it
mean?
causes her to take a swing at the cop. And
Oh.
so she goes to punch the cop and misses. And they're like, no, you don't understand. Don't call me honey. My mom calls me that. Only she can call me that.
That's a special name we have between each other, honey.
She calls me Bly.
I
'cause it's
never
my
heard
name.
nobody else
Or
call
she calls
anybody
me
honey.
Sometimes she'll call me daughter. And because I'm her daughter.
Sometimes she calls me dishes. No, wait, she tells me to do the dishes.
Oh,
That's different.
man, this is bad. So this is what happens when we just go with the bit and know
that's
we
all
don't
right.
get
That's
roided
all
in.
right.
So the cops leave, and the other cops
Why is
like,
his hat so tiny all of a sudden?
it shrunk. while
His
he was
hat's so
telling her.
small.
It was big. That's the thing. He has one, and it starts out huge, and as the day
Yeah.
progresses, it just
No,
gets
guys,
smaller.
it symbolizes his confidence that she was the murderer, and as it gets smaller, he's like, "Oh, wait, maybe she didn't do it."
That is a good
Wow.
idea, except he doubles down that he thinks that she's the one who did it.
Okay.
Oh, maybe that's
His-
just his intelligence
his-
shrinking.
Yeah, maybe.
The top of that hat would not fit on that big ass head. he's
No,
got.
it would not.
There's no way.
His partner there is just like, all right, I think you're a pig, Randy. Like,
She's like, I can't look at your hat. No
she's just
more.
like, she's like, that stupid hat just keeps getting smaller.
It's a damn hat.
But also, why do you think that it's
Randy.
her? And the detective says, like, I think that there was some kind of hard feelings there. I think she's the one who took out this kid, this Tim Sands kid, and Harold and whatever the other one's name at the Coliseum.
Harold and Zippy.
Like, I think she's related to her parents. So
It was Spike and Harold, right?
Spike and Harold and Tim.
Yeah.
That
And
was
you
the three
think
guys.
she went on like a 7-person killing spree
This
in
cop
one night.
this cop thinks that she has something to do with those three deaths and the deaths of her parents
Mm.
as they leave. The other cop doesn't necessarily agree with him on that as they leave. She's just like, oh my goodness, you got to stop watching Hard Copy every night. And the detective
Hard
goes,
copy.
the detective goes, well, heck, ain't my fault they run it right at supper time.
I'm gonna go ahead and light this cigarette right here in the hospital.
Yeah, it said you can't do that. And I'm
Can't
like,
tell
"No,
me not to
this
do
is
it.
the smoking section."
This is the smoking section.
So we go back
right
outside.
over here next to
We
the
go back
cancers.
outside. No, we go back to that place where we saw the one cop Montero earlier.
Okay.
We flash back out,
Where
And
they had the
there's
graves and all that
They
stuff.
were digging all the graves
Yeah.
from Ruben and his friends from earlier.
Mhm.
So the actual
These guys
cops,
look totally trustworthy, by the way, that are getting out
The
of the
white
ambulance
suits,
or whatever
yeah.
here. Yeah, they look great.
the guys, there's actual cops out there
Mhm.
combing over the scene, and these guys from the FBI behavior science area.
The
are out
guys
there
in
looking
white
for
are
stuff.
from the behavior science.
They're from the FBI behavioral sciences. They're out there searching for something,
Feel
and
like they're in a Devo video.
and it's like the Tempe police or
Another history
Phoenix or
lesson
whoever
for
the
you.
police chief is like, I don't need the damn FBI here breathing down my neck. This is
Especially
my
not the
crime
FBI
scene.
Especially not the FBI's BS division.
Exactly.
This is my
And
crime
it's a bit-
scene.
that-
Get out of
he
here.
is doing that. He's like, well, shoot, guess that makes my lucky day then. Tell me, Agent Harker, is it? Can you boys and I just pack up and go home now, or do you need us to fetch and carry stuff for you?
Don't nobody need you.
Yeah, he's like, you guys gonna find the psycho who did this? Like this, he's just going on and on, just kind of like attacking them for this. And he's like, who in the hell told you what was going on here anyhow? And they're like, we've been monitoring the radios and we've been following you. And they're like, he's just like, I don't even know what's going on out here.
We ain't
And
got no
about that time,
radios.
one of the guys is like, hey, we found something, sir. And they go over there, and he's like, I'm reading trace amounts all over this place, sir. There was a whole pack of them here last night. And then this residue caught my eye, and I saw, and one of them goes, yes, he was definitely here. And the chief of police goes, who was definitely here? And you see like a snake head from the boot imprint, and it goes, someone you never want to meet, Lieutenant. And that's where it ends that.
Here's my biggest issue with that.
We're almost done
Just
with
real
this.
quick.
Yeah.
Is the fact that there's a
stayed in
freaking
the sand?
skull sticking out of the ground. They're like, we ain't found nothing yet. Oh, look over here. Here's a boot print. Oh, it's a big old skull, too. Look at that. That's supposed to be in your head.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe not the best task force there.
No, they're terrible.
We see that Bly has been passed out ever since the cops came to visit her. She starts having this dream, or we think it's a dream, but it could be what happened while she was passed out. Remember, she doesn't remember anything.
Okay.
And so it shows her like seeing the blood on the wall and her and Paul running out of the house. And as they're leaving, they go to back
she
out.
was visited by two gangsters from Dick Tracy, apparently, in her dream
Well, no,
as well.
that's the Dracula guy and his.
Oh, okay. All right.
And so they go to leave, and they're being followed again. And Paul's like, they're following us. And she's like, no, this is somebody different. And it's the bikers from earlier.
That ain't them. That's somebody else.
And as she tries to get away from the bikers, she runs into a clown that's like the mascot for, I guess, that burger place. They are really leaning into the McDonald's thing.
It's not the same clown from earlier?
No, that's different hair.
It's a different clown. I mean, it looks similar, but it's a different clown. This is like a mascot clown for the fast food place. But she runs right into the leg of the clown. And as they get out, she's like, geez, oh, well, I hated that stupid clown. Come on, Paul.
Stupid clown. Get out of my way, clown.
And then you hear, hey, Bly, you dropped this, didn't you? Sorry. Hey there, Bly. We dropped by, but you weren't home. And it shows the biker guys there. And about that time, Dracula guy shows up, and he leaps out of his, I don't know, like sedan. Like, what kind of car is that?
It's a town car.
It is. He leaps out of his Crown Victoria, and he's like, and he jumps in front of her to try to protect her. And all of a sudden, Dracula guy now has long flowing white hair and a lightning sword as he's surrounded by lightning.
A lightning sword.
He's Alucard.
He is, and his name's Kiris.
And I love how the only girl with him is wearing like a tube top.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah,
Mike, this is the 90s.
And
Women
his little henchman, Kiris's little henchman in the car that was driving him around, that was taking the pictures earlier,
little henchman,
shoots the crossbow that hits Sam, the main biker vampire baddie, in the chest. And the other two, like a scuffle ensues. Well, the girl that's with them grabs the boyfriend, Paul, and pulls him out of the car as they like throw a grenade at the car to cause it to explode. Kiris is able to save Bly as Bly is trying to go and save Paul for being taken away from her by the biker gang.
The one we didn't talk about, From Dusk Till Dawn. That's more like it here.
I think that's a little bit later though.
No, it's 96.
Yeah, no, this was 93.
Oh.
It's later than
Thought I had it.
But I'm saying like vampires were popular around this time. So the biker gang leaves.
I have a hard time keeping it together, Zach.
I know.
I don't know them dates.
I know.
He lived through all of it.
I didn't finish school.
The biker gang leaves with Paul. Like they just steal Paul.
Mama got
leave.
sick. I had to go get a job.
And the lightning guy protects Bly as he like scares them off. And she's like, and so they leave Bly be, just taking Paul.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to mess with this guy who's there to protect
Lightning
Kiris,
sword.
who's there, lightning
Yeah.
sword to protect Bly. And so he goes, farewell, my child. I am sore, wounded, and cannot tarry, but we shall speak soon. And then
tarry.
and then he just disappears like in a bolt of light.
My name's not Terry.
And then we get Bly. Come on, Bly, like in a box. As the cops show up and they're like, hold on, I don't want to do this incident report. You want to wrap this incident report?
Blythe in a box.
Wait, that's actually in there?
Yeah.
Oh,
and,
of course.
And we cut back and Bly's awake now in the hospital and Paul's back there.
Hey, there's old Paul.
And he's like, Bly, wake up. We gotta get out of here.
You.
She's like, Paul, I haven't seen you. You know, I forgot the football game. They told me you kicked the game winning field goal.
Tell me how you set up
Congrats,
the play. What's the grass smell like, Paul?
Do you think this is for sure going to get you that scholarship to ASU now we've been dreaming of?
I ain't going no ASU. You know that. That's where my parents went.
Paul, I'm telling you, you could be.
I'm nothing like my father.
Paul, it's not about you being like your daddy.
I'm gonna be ballet.
Anyway, so Paul is like, come on, Bly, we got to get out of here. Like,
Oh, and she's naked.
they think, well, I mean, come on, it's the 90s. You
Yeah.
got to throw that in there
Yeah.
too. They're like, they think we killed your parents. We didn't. We got to get out of here, or else, like, you know, until we can figure out what we're going to do next. And Bly's like, yeah, no, you're right. And so they go to like sneak out. And she's like, what about the guard? And he's like, oh, he's sleeping. Just like, be careful. And she walks by and she goes, he kind of looks dead. And Paul goes, no, he's just a heavy sleeper.
Fine. Come
Yeah,
on, Bly.
He's fine. He's just a heavy sleeper. Come on, let's
Oh,
go.
Bly. He always
And
looks
so-
like that.
It's like they're waiting by the elevator.
Yeah, the
and
big old
she's-
Susie cream cheese. Just put him right out.
And so she's cold. You see like her breath there. And he offers her his jacket. And so he's
Yeah.
just walking around shirtless now, which is completely
I don't know
normal.
that I trust him now.
So she's telling him, she's like, man, it's weird. It's weird, Paul. Like,
Oh,
you know, just before you woke me up, I was dreaming about what happened
Paul.
after we left my house, you know?
Paul,
and he's
so
like,
cold in here, Paul.
Here. And he's like, here, take my jacket. And she's like, thanks. Anyway, it was weird. I mean, like, with most streams, you know, it's not like, you know, very real. Things don't happen like they do in real life. Like, there's no logic.
I got
Like,
that
I
goose
imagine-
flesh.
I imagine that's how she's talking to him.
So cold in
There's no
here.
logic. Like, you know, that's what I mean. But this one, it was different. I
It
mean,
was
like,
different.
I mean, like, there was weird stuff that was happening, and it just kind of made sense. But did we really get? People are going to hate this.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
either
it's
going to
fine.
love
Yeah.
this episode, or they are not going to listen to
Yeah,
any of it,
this is
and it's
great.
going to be
Love
in
it.
between. But did we really get chased by those people on motorcycles and crashed? And there was this guy with the glowing sword, and another guy. God, he was scary, and you were hurt. And he goes, and Paul goes,
He was scary.
and Paul goes, yeah, okay, I was hurt. I'm all right now. Let's go. And she goes, but Paul, wait. In my dream, that the scary guy, one of the people, they took you away with them. And Paul goes, yeah, they did. And then you see
Oh,
you see
no.
Sam, the head of the biker gang there, and he goes, hello there, sweetness. Nice outfit. As the whole biker gang is there, as Paul has essentially brought Bly to the biker gang, and we get next, Demon of the Desert.
Mm,
And that ends issue 1.
that's
of
the end of it.
It's issue 1, Mike. There's 14 of those things. How many?
I was just getting into it.
well,
I was hoping we were gonna get her like doing a cool thing to like
you
fight off.
you want to know
My
what
mom
happens?
always told me there's at least 2 episodes.
If you want to know what happens to Bly and her gang of friends, you got to make sure to get out there and vote.
And also another reason
So-
to vote. I looked at the cover of issue 13. She's fighting a giant robot.
Ooh,
Now I can
I'm
also
I
not-
hate
I'm not
these damn
joking either.
robots.
so this is gonna release, and I'm gonna put a poll up then, and we'll vote for the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
Out of the 3 issue 1s we just covered,
Uh-huh.
Guardians of the Galaxy #1 from 1990, which
Yeah.
Mike hated.
Yeah. Suck.
Cops issue 1 last week from 1988,
Which is very
Mike
dumb
really,
but fun.
and then Scarlett,
Uh-oh.
as Mason's breaking stuff.
Mason fell.
1993 Scarlett, which we just covered, which we turned into a completely different series than what it was. but
Damn it! I
still.
dropped my Dr. Pepper bottle.
Hey, Paul,
Hey, Paul.
I know that you're evil now and you're turning me over to the evil backers, but I just got to know, have you reconsidered going to ASU?
Hey, Paul.
Paul?
I hear ASU's got a great turf management program.
It could be-
Paul, by the way, can we stop and get some McDoubles on our way home?
It's not McDonald's. Don't say that.
Yeah.
It's McDiggle's.
You know that restaurant at the Clown that I ran into?
I hate that clown.
Two beef patties on cheese.
Scarlett. So we'll put all three of them up to vote, and you guys,
This is
whichever
the
one
only
you
one
pick,
we'll do voices for, though.
this is the only one.
So
we'll do.
that's your.
That is a lie. As somebody who has to go back and make
Oh,
shorts
that's
for this,
true.
the amount of voices I have
That's
done
true.
over the history of this podcast is ridiculous.
Well, we just did it for cops.
We did do it for cops. We did
Mr.
the-
Bean Brain or whatever
everyone
the
we
hell his name
do.
is.
Bad vibes.
Dr.
So
Mad Dave.
go out and vote on which one of these you want us to cover.
Yeah.
Wednesday coming up, we have another Superman's girlfriend, Lois Lane, where
Ooh.
Superman and Batman play a joke on Lois Lane.
Yeah, those crazy.
That's actually
kids.
the name of the story. It is not a joke.
That's
It's
the
a
name
no-
of the story.
That's the name of the story.
Superman and Batman play a joke on Lois Lane.
Does the joke make a killing?
Wow.
No, the joke doesn't happen until like the last page either.
Oh, that's good.
It's-
Does
it's
it
dumb.
end? This is a callback to our last episode. Does it end with Lois, you're fat? That's it. Is that how it ends?
Almost.
Really?
Well, here there is one
Okay,
point.
don't tell me.
Well,
don't tell
there's
me.
one point that's just really funny. It starts off, Lois is like searching for hidden treasure, and she's swimming,
Well, number one, that's a great
and
premise.
she catches a cramp swimming underwater, and that's how
catches
she
a
almost
what?
cramp, and that's how she almost
She
drowns.
catches a cramp.
She catches a belly cramp, and she almost drowns from that. So that's what you have
That
to look
is
forward
fun.
to. But Batman
cramps
and
are
Superman
fun.
play a joke on her. That's Wednesday on our World's Finest Wednesday. As always, thank you all for taking the time out to listen and watch, or just
Yeah.
whatever you
This has
get
been
to us for
fun.
this.
It's been
Yeah,
great.
it was.
Yeah.
This has been a good one. As always, make sure to check out Rogue Media Network and all the other great podcasts on the Rogue Media Network family of podcasts.
Can I
By
throw
the way,
something
if you
out
don't,
there?
what? You
Yeah.
interrupted me.
Wow.
God.
Yes, Mason. You can.
RogueMediaNetwork.com.
Go ahead, Mason.
Do you want to edit your bois by yourself now?
Oh.
No, I'm good. Thank
what I
you.
thought.
I've
Zach,
always liked you better than the other ones.
so we got Captain America 4 coming out in 2 weeks.
Yes.
We got what?
Are
Who?
you,
Where?
are you gonna go see it like in the? Are you gonna try to see it like opening weekend?
What is it?
Captain America
No.
4.
Oh, Captain America.
So I haven't
Not
seen
my
a,
Captain.
I haven't seen a
That's a
Marvel
joke.
movie since the last Spider-Man one. After
you even see Deadpool
Endgame,
Wolverine?
after Endgame, huh?
Not even Deadpool Wolverine.
I'll take that back. I did see Deadpool Wolverine.
Here's my
Um,
here's my issue.
After Endgame, here's the thing for me and
Yeah.
my comic book sanity.
Me in my house, we serve
in
these
my
things.
house, in my house, we only care about two things. If Paul made the women kicking football,
Uh-huh.
no, but I like that end of the
And Susie
story.
Cream
Like
Cheese.
I got the whole story. So I had my starting point. I had my ending point. I know that there's more stuff to it,
Yeah.
but I got to watch a lot of TV. Like at this point, there's so much other
Yeah.
stuff to watch to catch up
A
that it
lot of
seems a
TV.
little intimidating.
Well, I think for this one, you pretty much only have to watch Cap Winter Soldier. I don't even know if or Falcon Winter Soldier. I don't even know if you have to.
I
but-
just don't. I don't like Harrison Ford turning into a Red Hulk.
That's
All right, well, never mind. I was gonna say
then
if we
you
both
will
see-
hate shrinking on Apple TV.
Yeah.
well, I was
Oh,
wondering
really?
if we
He
both
turns
saw
into
it.
Red Hulk all the time.
You got to watch and find out.
Well, if you do happen to see it like within that first 2 weeks, we should definitely do an episode talking about it because I'm gonna go see it.
Okay.
So-
All right.
There's a chance that probably not. I will probably wait until it comes out.
Coming up,
Yeah.
kids, a review of Captain America,
Until-
the
maybe-
new one.
Zach, maybe me and
With Mason.
Scotty's gonna try to see it. Sorry to call you out, Scotty, but maybe the three of us can
Yeah.
do a review
Yeah.
of it. If we love it, we rave. If we
You see
hate
how
it,
he
we can
just pushed me right
whine
out of
for
that?
2
Well, are
hours.
you going to watch
And
it?
you
Matt?
said you weren't going to go see it.
Yeah. Well, that's because I'm nicer than you.
Oh, see, I'd go see it.
Well,
I'll go see it on the big screen. I like it.
we don't have too many big screens out here in
I like it.
Tempe.
You know,
Well,
they're running
Mike
that.
remembers a time when they were only like black and white.
No,
Yeah, I do.
They had this have the guy, and they're just constantly turning.
It was
the thing
great
to
because
make
you
it-
had that
the
old lady playing the
projectionist.
piano.
was a
Everything
job
you
at some-
watched.
It was essentially just the theater scene for Inglorious Bastards.
well,
every
the one
time
I
Mike went to
the one I
movies.
enjoyed was the train that goes through the tunnel.
Oh,
That was
yeah?
the best. Yeah.
Mission
Oh.
Impossible.
That was the
Oh.
entire movie.
And Gertie the dinosaur.
Gertie the dinosaur.
That's actually a real thing from like the
Really?
late 30s. Yeah, it's
Huh.
it was a guy. It was the mix. I think it's one of the first mixes of live action and animation. Actually,
Really?
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh wait, I do
Last
kinda
thing
remember
Mason's
that. Yeah.
gonna say in this, Mike. I just thought of something. You should do this as a show.
Yeah.
Dead jobs that'll never come back.
Oh, I like that.
Toll booth workers. Freaking.
Well, there still are some, aren't there? There's got to be a toll booth worker
Mhm.
somewhere
There's still
still.
workers.
No, they're pretty much dead at the. I think maybe like.
Or are
the
you
third
saying that
stage.
there are toll booth
Mason
workers?
just
but they're
said
just
they're
all
all dead. Yeah.
Maybe that's a podcast we do. Is what happened to all the toll booth workers?
That's right.
I always want. I'm being dead serious.
Coming up
I kind
on
of wanted that
48
job when I
hours.
was a kid because you just stand there for hours.
and people throw money at you.
And people
You
throw money
don't
at
know
you.
what they do in that toll booth.
Exactly. You could do whatever the hell you wanted.
They might be
Imagine that
doing
job now with phones. You could just
They might be
you could-
doing
I
some
could
real
do
hard math
so-
in there.
No, they were not.
You don't know. They got to count on them coins.
All right.
I always wondered how they got into the boost. Like, if it's next to the freeway,
They
like
drop them in from the top.
How did they get in there? Did
All
someone
right.
pull them? I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
All right, let's go. We gotta
You're
go.
good. Join us on Wednesday when we talk Lois Lane and her crazy shenanigans, or the joke that Batman and Superman pulled.
Lois, watch out. It's a joke.
All right. Until next time, stay safe, everybody.
Hang on.
What?
Got a con, everybody.
Pros and heroes. Gonna tell you about pros and heroes. Gonna tell you about.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.